later this week to make his case for a reformed British relationship with the EU. However, several newspapers, citing official guidance, report that Mr Cameron has failed to convince other European leaders and is already preparing a fallback to replace his original demand for a 4-year wait for in-work benefits. Here's the Sunday Times headline. It says, Prime Minister caves in on migrant benefits. Sunday Telegraph describes it as Mr Cameron's climb down on EU benefits. And The Independent on Sunday goes with the same metaphor, describing it as Cameron's big EU climb down. Let's speak now to a prominent Conservative backbencher, MP Peter Lilly. He was a cabinet minister in the Conservative governments of both Margaret Thatcher and John Major. Peter Lilly, welcome to the programme. The Prime Minister is thought by many of your colleagues not to be asking for a lot, yet he might not even get what he's asking for. Could he sell a watered-down deal to his party?
Well, it's more a question of whether he can sell whatever comes out of it to the country. This isn't a party business, and there are lots of Labour MPs who want to see democratic powers returned to this country from the European institutions. That's the key issue as far as I'm concerned. He will clearly get some things because a lot of this has been pre-negotiated, as it were, so he'll get something to say about removing the phrase ever closer union, something to do with benefits, even if actually it's something we could do anyway ourselves, like apply a 4-year wait to British citizens as well as foreigners. So there'll be something. The question is, will it be substantial? Will it include a return of powers to this country to govern itself?
Well, what major powers is he asking to be repatriated?
Well, publicly there doesn't seem to be anything on the list unless some change in relation to free movement of labour, giving us power to do things that we don't currently have, is somewhere up his sleeve. I do occasionally hear rumours that he's going to surprise us all and come back with some genuine return of powers. If he does, I'll be dancing on the rooftops.
But he's not asking for any of that. We have no evidence that that's even part of the negotiation.
Well, that is certainly disappointing. It's rather a strange strategy not to ask for the principal thing we want and yet still hope to get it. Because we have, over a series of treaties, which David Cameron and I voted against, conceded a whole lot of powers to Europe beyond what is necessary to run a common trading area. We'll accept that that requires some common lawmaking. But beyond that, we concede a lot of powers. We'd like to get some of that back and to start the process of getting those powers back. If we don't, and we can't, then we'll be very much on a slippery slope to creating a single state. The reason we're in the position we are, we're having to renegotiate, is that the countries of the Eurozone are on an escalator to creating a single state. There's never been a currency without a state and a government to run it, equipped with powers to tax, borrow, spend, regulate, transfer money and so on. They're forced, because they've created this currency, without a government now to create the government to make it work. The question is, can we be outside that process? Can we actually move in the opposite direction and get powers back? Or will we be sucked on in the slipstream?
Okay.
And if we can't overcome the sort of two doctrines of Europe, that everybody's heading in the same direction, albeit at different speeds, and that powers can only ever go to central institutions and never come back to member states. If we can't break those two doctrines as far as Britain's concerned, then he'll have not really have achieved anything. If he can break those doctrines in quite small respects, I
understand all that.
I think that was a great triumph.
I've got a quick final question for you. If he comes back with even less than he's asking for, would you vote to leave?
If he doesn't come back with some increase in powers to govern ourselves, I fear I would, for the first time in my life, be voting to leave. I voted to stay in 75, but I would vote to leave in those circumstances.
Peter Lilly, thank you for joining us this morning.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.